All right. I want to start off today just by giving you a little bit of my heart about leadership. I think that leadership, and you'll see as I go along the next slide when I really get into the power of leadership, it's more than we really believe it is. I've been fortunate enough to just be surrounded by some great leaders. I've been fortunate enough to be a United States Marine where I was basically thrust into what was a, a creator of leadership. Every day that you went to work, it was about how well you could lead, how well you could prepare your troops, and how important it was, because in that business, we were great leadership saved lives, great leadership won battles, and it's not much different in the game of football and life. So everything I tell you here today is going to carry over to life. That's why I said leadership in football and life. So the first thing I'm going to tell you about leadership, this is wide open. I'm not going to be able to cover it all. I couldn't cover it all in 20 hours. So what I did was put together this last week and really last month, because I've been working on this on and off for about a few months, is a bare bones leadership clinic. So first of all, I want to tell you something. If you get anything from this clinic, you need to get this. And if you want to shut it off after this, you should, if you can't take no more. But I believe you're going to want to hear this stuff. First of all, in the bare bones leadership arena, the one thing that leaders do that nobody talks about is leaders simply see something in other people that they don't see in themselves. Leaders see something special in other people that they don't see in themselves. And then the leader tries to extract the greatness from you. The only problem with our view of education in America, and leadership ties into this. We take the word education and we think it means to fill up with information, to fill up with greatness, to fill up with all these things. Leadership does not mean that. Education does not mean that. What education means, it's a Latin word that means to extract. So when leaders see something great in you, they try to extract it from you. They're just trying to pull your greatness out of you. It's in you. You can go look in the mirror right now and you don't have to believe it. But whether you believe it or not, it's in you. It's in you. Greatness is in you. Hard work's in you. Intestinal fortitude's in you. Guts is in you. Strength is in you. The ability to overcome is in you. The ability to change your thoughts is within you. The ability to inspire others is within you. That stuff's inside of you. Great leaders can pull it out. They don't try to fill you with information like we believe in America today, to educate, to fill up with information. It's a Latin word that means to extract. Leaders will educate you on the greatness within you. They will extract it from you. You've all been around a man in your life. Most of us, because we're on a football coaches forum and talk today, we've had a great man, a great coach pull that out of us. And if you're a leader, you're going to pull it out of other people. And if you're not extracting greatness from others, you're not a leader. You're not. Forget all the other things that you think leadership is. If you're not extracting greatness from others, you're not leading. And you're going to dig this talk most. The most endangered species on this planet is a dedicated leader. Look around, my friends. Look around. I'm so passionate about this because they're not around. They're non-existent. They're like that unicorn. They're probably a little more plentiful than that, but not much. Not the great ones. And the great ones, you can find them. A lot of them are football coaches. A lot of them are football coaches. The most endangered species on this planet are dedicated leaders. And if they're endangered, my friends, if they're endangered, why aren't you and I trying to bring back the species?
We need to be growing leaders. They're endangered. Leaders are endangered. Why are we not trying to extract greatness from others and create more leaders and bring leaders back? We're going to have to stand up to some things that are going to put us in unpopular positions to create leaders. And as you're going to learn today, what leadership is, it's doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Our job right now on this planet, in this country, is to extract greatness from others, lead people, grow leaders. They're endangered. Let's bring back the species of leaders. They're almost dead. If we don't, who is? And we got the great vehicle of football. All football is a vehicle to create good men and grow leaders. That's all it is. That's all it is. The most endangered species on the planet. I want to talk about a couple things. Leadership hurdles. Things that destroy leaders. Two things that destroy leaders. Two things that will keep you from being a leader. And my friends, nobody's immune to these things. These two things right here will keep you from being leaders. This is why most people fall from grace. This is why most people get a leadership position and fail. This is why most people climb to the top of the mountain and fall on their head. You got to avoid these two things, understand what these two things are, and you better be prepared if you're going to lead anybody, because at some point it's going to get you. And when it gets you, you better be aware of what got you, and so you can fix it. But first is the ego. The leader's drive comes from his own selfish desires. He is selfish. He thinks that just because they got 4 gold balls in the trophy case that he did it. When he didn't score a touchdown, he didn't make a play. The leader's drive comes from his own selfish desires. He thinks that he's the reason for success when he may have orchestrated, but the other people did it. It takes everybody to be successful, not just the guy that has the title. He works his plan for his own prosperity and takes credit for all success in the organization. The ego will destroy you, my friends. It will destroy you. Just because you have the title of leadership doesn't mean that you do it by yourself. You will never do this by yourself. You will never, ever, ever do this by yourself. Ask Nick Saban. Look, and I said this the other day, there's a reason why greatness keeps showing up at Alabama. Great leader. He doesn't do the offense. He doesn't call the defense. He orchestrates it. And just like the great Bear Bryant said, if we do something good, you did it. If we do something bad, I did it. You better beware of the ego, my friends. You better understand that if you accomplish anything as a leader, we did it. And when you start saying I did it, and when you start talking about me, I, watch out. The fall is coming. And the second hurdle for leaders is pressure. Pressure from outside entities. You may have a parent in your program. You may have a booster in your program. You may have a big time support system in your program, someone that donates to your program, and they may have a kid. And they may expect you to play that kid. They may expect you to give that kid something he didn't earn because they're given. If you buy into this, like I said before, Dennis Franchione taught me the most important lesson of my coaching career. And that was, you'll never fool a kid. The first time you give into outside pressure and you play kids that don't earn it, or you play the kid because dad's giving money, mom's giving money, boosters giving money, donations from the bank or this or that. If you start feeding into what they want, what they believe, you're done. You're done. You ain't leading. You know the right thing to do. All you have to do is do it. You got to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Ego and pressure will knock you off your perch, my friends. It's not about you. It's not about you. Leadership's unfair and it's unpopular. If you're worried about what others think, you better resign today. You're not a leader. You will never lead effectively. if you're worried about what others think, because again, you have to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It doesn't matter what they think over here at the bank. It doesn't matter what the booster club thinks. It doesn't matter what this group of parents think. You got to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do all the way through your program. Leaders have a vision and a plan, and everything outside that vision and plan, they don't hear it. Let me say that again. Leaders have a vision and a plan, and everything outside that vision and plan, they don't hear it. They have a oneness of focus. If you ever want to get a kid, teach a kid, an adult, any human being alive to get to the next level, it's a oneness of focus, and leaders have it. And all that noise out there, they ain't hearing it. They ain't hearing it. And at some point, you're going to be the dumbest person in town. And if you're not prepared, you're going to crash mentally. You're going to crash emotionally, because nobody is going to like you at some point, except for maybe your friends and family and coaches, staff, and kids. The whole town might think you're the biggest idiot. And as a leader, you can lose games. You can lose games, but you better not lose your kids, your team, your family. You better not lose your coaching staff. You can lose a bunch of games. Leaders lose. That they don't get a win all the time just because they're a great leader, but you better not lose your team. You better not lose your family. You better not lose your coaching staff. You better not lose the people that are important to your success, your administration, your school. Because guess what? You're going to be the dumbest person in town. You know that fence outside of a football stadium? It's called the fence of knowledge. It's where everybody stands on Friday night and tells you to run the ball or throw the ball because they know so much. They know so much. They've watched so much film. They burnt the midnight oil. They've been up there with you. We know they haven't, but they act like they have. You're going to be the dumbest person in town. The game of leadership is a nasty, nasty game. And at times, there's nothing fair about it. You're going to get fired when you don't deserve to be fired. You're going to get heckled when you don't deserve to be heckled. You're going to have to put up with meetings from people that have no idea or no clue how much time you put in, how much emotion you put in, how much of your heart you put in, how much of your family's time is given up to this profession, how much of your life is given up for it, how much you care, and they don't care how much you give. They don't care how much you care. It's a nasty game, and they will say things about you. They will run you in the ground. They will beat your mentality and your emotions down into a nub. They don't care about you. Being a leader is a nasty game, and everybody that thinks they want to be this head coach and all these big titles, you better be prepared to be a great leader. That's why I like to share stuff like this, the bare bones leadership. I mean, this is the fundamentals, my friends. What's a leader? What is a leader? Let's talk about just simply what a leader is. An individual who envisions, organizes, and develops and moves a group, organization, or country towards a goal. That's my definition. He envisions. He's got a vision, and then he shares it with you, and he organizes it. He develops. He moves you towards that vision. That's what a leader does. He has a vision. He envisions you. He organizes the program. He develops it, and he moves this group or this organization or this country towards the desired goal. Our goal is to develop young men and build great men of character and send them out into this world, and we make the world a better place through the game of football. Great leaders do that. So I ask you this question. It's an important question. You need to answer this within your own mind. If you're a leader, who's following you and why? If you're a leader, who's following you and why are they following you? Hitler was a great leader. Who followed him? His country, for the wrong reasons. He gave them hope. He told them he was going to give them all these things. And what he give them? A very, very negative situation. If you're a leader, if you're the leader, who's following you? But why do they follow you? You have to ask yourself this question. Why would somebody follow you? They either follow you because they believe in what you're doing, but mostly they follow you. And I'm going to tell you why people follow you. No matter what your end result is in your mind, they follow you because they believe that you can get them to where they want to be. They follow you because they believe you can get them to the next level and they don't feel like they could make it alone. And what is the definition of a coach? What is the definition of a coach? A coach is simply a person that can get another person to the next level who can't make it alone. Why are they following you? Because they think you can get them to where they can't get alone. They believe. And we're going to get into that later. I don't want to spill all the beans right now, my friends. But a leader is just an individual who envisions, organizes, and develops and moves a group or organization or a country towards their desired goal. This is for you. This is for you guys today. This is 100% for you. And I know you guys on my Facebook Live can't see the screen. Denny McCoy, Eddie Paul, what's going on, my friends? Football leadership, life leadership. Give a man a hammer. Give a man a hammer, and you will find his work ethic. Give a man power, and you will find his character. Give a man a hammer, you find his work ethic. You figure out if he'll work. Give him power, and you'll find out his character. You'll find out who he is. Give him a title. You see, because most of these guys today, I see a lot of, they want to be the leader for the title. They don't want to do the leadership stuff. What do they say? You know, everyone beats the man. Everybody wants to be the man till it's time to do what the man does. Give a man a hammer, you'll find his work ethic. Give him power. You'll find his character. Leadership, as we said before, it's a nasty business. And if you want to be a leader for the title, I don't know how to say, I don't even know if there's a nice way to say this. If you want to be a leader because of a title, you're cheating the game of life. And if you're doing it in football or whatever sport it is, baseball, basketball, rodeo, if you're a CEO, whatever, you won't be doing it very long if you want the title. You won't be doing it very long if you abuse that leadership. You get power and you run people on the ground and you abuse your leadership and you make calls that are made for your own good. You're not a leader and you ain't gonna be there very long. Give a man a hammer, you'll figure out whether it'll work. Give him a leader, give him power, and you'll figure out who he really is, what his character is really about. Can he lead? Because ever increasingly in this world, and I said leaders are an endangered species. There are not very many around, and there's a bunch of frauds. And if you're a fraud and you don't think everybody sees it, you're out of your mind, because leaders are that rare. They're that rare. When good ones come around, you can tell. This is what leadership is not. Leadership's not beating a man over the head with a stick. That's assault. You don't lead with a stick, coming and swinging and beating and raising hell. To lead, they have to believe in you. They have to trust you. They have to know that you have their best interest in mind. Why do we say people would follow you? Because they think you can get them where they can't get alone. So am I going to follow you if you're yelling and screaming and demanding and laying down all these laws? I got to be firm, but I can't be abrasive until it's time to be abrasive. And there's times in leadership, very few and far between, that you're going to have to swing the stick. But you better get them on board before you start swinging the stick. It's like boiling a frog. You're going to go in. Anytime they change leaders, why do they change leaders in life? Because the first guy wasn't getting the job done. So they bring the next guy in. And now he's coming into a screwed up culture, a screwed up situation. What's he got to do? He's got to lay down the law. He's got to be demanding. That doesn't mean swing a stick and hit dudes over the head with it. That means lay down the law. This is how it's going to be. And do it with some poise, some character, and some love. Leadership's not hitting the guy over the head with a stick. You can show people you care and lead them. I'm not saying this, you got to be huggy or handshaky all day or warm and fuzzy, but put forward what you want done and lead the people to do it. That doesn't mean tell them what to do and go sit down. Great leaders don't do that. And we'll get into that. They show the way. What leadership is not, it's not a platform for your self-gratification or self-promotion. Again, we're going to get deep into leadership here in a minute. It's not about you. If it's about you or promoting you or me, you won't be doing it long and you'll never do it effective because you got to care. You got to love whatever you're leading, whatever organization it is. You better have a powerful feeling in your heart about the people and the organization and their tradition and all that you're trying to move forward. You got to love them. You got to love it. It's not about you. It'll never be about you. If it's about you, you won't be there very long. You're not leading. You're running for a popularity contest. What leadership is knowing the way. Great leaders know the way. They know their business. Just like speaking to you today, I better know 10 times the material than I'm actually speaking about. I better be 10 times better on leadership than anybody out there because I'm speaking on it. I'm the master. I know what I'm talking about. I've been there, done that. Been through the greatest leadership school in the world. I will put very few people, a couple Navy SEALs and some generals and people up that would have the leadership knowledge that I have. And I have it from experience. I didn't get it because I wanted it. I got it because I was in the right place at the right time and the right place at the wrong time. I got the chance to be in a war and lead men, to be in a leadership machine, the Marine Corps, to become a professional rodeo athlete where I had to lead myself in a business, in a tough sport, to become a football coach where I had to lead administration, lead men, lead a team, lead a town, lead a school. Football is a powerful weapon, my friends. Powerful. If superintendents knew the power of a football team in their town, they would grow that football team. They would make their football programs better. Most of them don't know the power of a great football program and great leaders that know the way. You got to know the way. And young leaders, you're going to fall down. You're going to mess up. You're going to screw up. But you got to remember, you're always becoming a master in training. You're always a master in training. I'm getting better every day. I know a lot, but I'm not the master. I'm still in training. I'm still learning every day about leadership. Leaders know the way. You better know your business if you're teaching it to someone else. You better know from experience what not to do and what to do, but more importantly, what not to do. You better know the way, and you better go the way. Be the example. Be the first and last at everything. First one there, last one to lead, last one to eat, first one to clean up. You got to know the way. You got to go the way to be a great leader. Be the example. Be the first and last at everything, and then you got to show the way. You got to show the way. You got to teach. Great leaders develop the people below them. Just because you were an assistant coach in our program for 10 years, you ought to be ready to become a head coach. You ought to be ready to move up the ladder just because simply osmosis. You've seen it so long. You've seen it done right. You've seen situations handled. You've been a part of situations handled. You got to know the way. You got to go the way. And then you got to show the way. It ain't enough just to lead. Pass it on. We said leaders are an endangered species. So why wouldn't you teach it to someone else? Know the way, go the way, and show the way. It's just fair that we pay it forward, we give it back. This is big time, my friends. I'm going to slow down for a second. We good, Justin? Well, I can't hear him. But a leader takes people where they want to go. It's all a leader does. Kids walk into your program, they want to become a good man. They want to become a strong man. They want to become a conditioned man. They want to be a part of a championship program. So if this is what they want, a leader should be able to take them where they want to go. A great leader, let me say that again, a great leader takes people where they don't want to go, but they ought to be. And I'm going to slow down for a second because I want to talk about this. If God made you an 8 and you were walking around this earth, you have an 8 ability. God made you an 8, but you're walking around this earth only using 3.5 of your ability. If God made you an 8, how dare you walk around this planet a 3.5? He made me an 8. I have an 8 ability, but I'm walking around this planet a 3.5. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't want to go, but where they ought to be. Leaders see something in you you don't see in yourself. Leaders inspire, and we'll talk about that later. If you're not inspiring people, you ain't leading nobody. If you ain't inspiring people to be great, you ain't a leader. Great leaders take people where they don't want to go, but where they ought to be. Great leaders recognize an 8 ability that's acting like a 3, walking like a 3, talking like a 3, playing like a 3. And they see God made this kid an 8. He's walking around a 3.5. I got to extract 4.5 out of this dude. I got to get him to, he has to reach his full potential, because that's all we're here on this earth for, I believe, is 2 things. Enjoy this great life we have and reach our full potential. If God made you an 8, be an 8. But how dare you walk around here at 3.5 if you have an 8 ability? That's a shame. It should be a crime. Inspire. To inspire means to fill someone with the urge. To fill someone with the urge, the ability to do something. Inspiration, inspire someone. I'll tell you a good story on the football side, my friends. Hey, JT Waddle, the man right there. I'm checking in with some guys on Facebook Live here. Danny Morgan, Tim Holt, Ginger Spiller. Man, what a great family the Spillers of Jacksburg, Texas are. What a super family. But I want to tell you the story of inspiration. Leaders inspire. And here's a good example of inspiration. You got a coach sitting there on a Saturday morning, and he's working on he's a defensive backs coach. He coaches the secondary, and he's working on this set of plays that the team runs out of this trips formation. And head coach comes around, and man, boy, he sees this kid's grinding. He's asking questions. He's calling buddies. He's bouncing this stuff off everybody. He's up there till 11, 12 at night, and he's got his plan. He comes to practice on Monday. He implements his plan within the defensive coordinator's plan, and boy, they're going to stop this set of plays that they run out of this trips formation. Well, Friday night comes around. He's prepared these kids all week. He's told them what to do, how to do it, what to read, what the variables are going to be and what the check downs are going to be. And if they do this, we're going to do that. And if they're going to do this, we're going to do that. And he's got the plan in. He thinks the kids got it. And man, he's worked his tail off. He's worked his butt off all week. He's put a lot of energy and motivating these kids to carry out the plan on Friday night. Well, Friday night comes around, and
They give up 3 touchdowns out of this formation to the same stuff he's worked on. And they lost the game. So he's sitting there on the next Saturday morning after the game, and head coach comes around and, he feels guilty. He feels like it was his fault. He said, Coach, I did all I could do. We put in a good plan. We put in the time and the effort to motivate the kids to execute it. And still we got scored on 3 times. I'm sorry. I wish I could have done a better job. And he said, yeah, you did all those things. And I appreciate your effort. But here's what you have to remember. You taught it to them. They knew what to do. They went out there and they did their best to execute it. But did you inspire them? Did you inspire them to execute that plan? You told them, you showed them, but did you inspire them to feel someone with the urge or ability to do something? You see, I've had a great reputation of getting kids to play hard. And I'm not tooting my own horn on leadership or my ability to coach kids. I've just always had that because of the passion in my heart. I've always been able to get through to the kids and get them to reach their full potential, just to live up to, just to do the best you can, sell out to your soul, give all you got. Don't leave anything out there. Inspire you. You can tell a kid all you want. You can teach a kid all you want, or an adult, or whoever. But if you are a leader, you better be able to inspire people, or you do not need to be a leader. You dang sure don't need to be a head coach, and you dang sure don't need to be in charge of anything. If you don't inspire human beings, you ain't leading them. Leaders, great leaders, get you to where you don't want to go, but you ought to be. You don't want to go, but you ought to be. You ought not walk around a 3.5 if you have an 8 ability. Can I inspire you to dig out that 4.5, to wring it out of your system? You see, if you ain't inspiring people, you're not going to ever get them to the next level. And you're never going to get your organization to the next level. And you're never going to achieve all you can achieve. Inspiration comes from having a vision, something deep in your soul that you believe in, something that sets your soul on fire. And that's a whole different subject, because I would hate to wake up in America today and go to a job that don't set my soul on fire. If it don't set your soul on fire, if you're out there bitching and complaining, you ought not be doing it. And dang sure ought not be leading anybody. And I ain't gonna apologize for getting passionate about that, because we got too many people in this business, in this state and all over America, that don't truly lead people. They're there for their own self-gratification. They're not there. They're not inspiring people. They're griping because they don't got the right kids, or these kids, or that kids, or kids that can do this, or kids that can do that. Then you got administrations that don't support them, and it compulates into a big mess of people getting cheated out of a chance to reach their full potential and live up to their ability. If you don't inspire, you ain't leading nobody. If it don't set your soul on fire, how's it going to set theirs on fire? Leadership and vision. Woo! Better get a drink after that one, my friends. Leadership and vision. Vision is the ability to think about the future with imagination and wisdom. A vision. A vision. The ability to think about the future with imagination and wisdom. If you can't see where you're going, how can you get there? If you can't see where you want this organization to go, how are you going to get them there? If you can't see where this kid could end up, how are you going to get him there? Leaders create. They see what others don't. They see something in you that you don't see in yourself. And then they see what others don't see. Say there's a bad job out there that nobody's won at. What does a leader do? He don't see the crummy past. He sees, wait a minute. There's some tough kids over there. Town wants to win. Administration wants to win. They're willing to do the things it takes to win. The leader ain't afraid of that job. Most people are, because what's the most endangered species on the planet? Dedicated leaders. Leaders have a vision. It's just an ability to think about the future with imagination and wisdom, to see what you want to see that others can't see and won't see and don't see and will never see, because they don't have that passion, that they're not leaders. And not everybody's a leader, obviously. There's going to be multitudes of more followers than leaders. But you have to have a vision. If you don't have a vision for the future, you just think you're out there for that season or that year or that cycle, you can't lead nobody. You got to see the future with wisdom and have a great imagination. Leaders create. They see what others don't see. I'm going to go back again here. I got ahead of myself. Leaders figure out what it's going to take to accomplish the goal, and they develop a plan of action. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You go in, leaders go in, they figure out what it's going to take. What are we going to have to do? What are we going to have to change? What are we going to have to develop? What are we going to have to get this job done? That's all they do. They have a clearly defined plan. Leaders have a clearly defined plan. They don't wing it. I can tell you right now, I can tell, and I ain't gonna be negative about this, but I could walk in any football program within, just say, a 30 minutes radius where I'm at right now. If I walk into that football program and they're goofing off in the weight room, there's no structure, there's no discipline. The coach comes in there and says, "Oh, the lift's on the wall." You ain't dealing with a leader. You're dealing with a guy drawing a paycheck. Leaders have a clearly defined plan. You walk into one of my off seasons and you'll think you're at Paris Island, South Carolina, watching Marines train. Leaders have a clearly defined plan. They don't wing it. They know exactly what needs to happen every day. They put their passion, their heart, their guts, their soul into every day. You know, every day to me in that weight room is the last day of my life. Every day in that weight room is the last day of my life. And I train them kids like we have just today, that today's all we got. Today's as important as any other day that's ever came and left on this earth. Why? Because at the end of the day, every day matters. If you start taking days off, making days not important, going into the weight room or into your program or into the organization that you're leading, and just having these easy days, you will breed apathy that will destroy anything that you build as a leader. Leaders figure out what's going on, what it takes to accomplish the goal. They develop a plan of action. They have a clearly defined plan. They don't wing it. And people that wing it, that don't have their day planned down to every second until they walk out that door to go be with their families again and take that head coaching hat off and put that dad hat back on, or that husband hat on, then you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Guys that just wing it, hey, just do the lift on the board. Don't invest their time in every kid in that weight room. Try to grow every kid in that weight room and individually. Try to bring that team together. Build off seasons that last to the end of basketball practice, last to the end of baseball practice. Do things right. You ain't leading nobody. If you're looking at your watch, you ain't leading nobody. If there's more important things going on in any given day in your program, you ain't leading nobody. That ain't leadership. Leaders are so passionate about the vision and the plan and the goal, they lose track of time. There is no time. Today's the most important day of my life and your life too. Let's train, baby. Woo! Leadership and communication, mass communication has to occur for leaders. Everybody has to know everything. Everybody has to know everything. If you're keeping stuff from your staff, if you're keeping stuff from your players, if you're keeping stuff from your parents, if you're keeping stuff from your administration, you can only fit so many elephants in one room. You have to communicate. Everybody has to know everything. No elephants. No elephants. Sun Tzu, if the instructions are clear and the mission is not carried out, it is the fault of the subordinate. If the instructions are unclear and the mission is not carried out, it is the fault of the leader. Let me say that again. If the instructions are clear and the mission is not carried out, it is the fault of the subordinate. If I'm clear as a leader, I know where the problem has to lie, not in my communication. I communicated right, you didn't hear it right. We have to get on the same page. If the instructions are unclear and the mission is not carried out, it's the fault of the leader. That's why if you're a leader, you better be clear. Everybody better know everything, or you're not leading. You're creating confusion. Let me say that again. If you're not clear on your communication and everybody doesn't know everything, you're not a leader. You will cause so much confusion, the chaos will overwhelm you, and you're not leading anybody. Leaders are master communicators. They understand that being organized and clear are the most important factors in the success of an organization. Be clear. Let everybody know exactly what we're doing. And build it in your systems that we do the same things over and over and over and over. Become masters at them. You know, we're talking about winging it a minute ago. I've seen guys go out there and change the offense on a Monday. That ain't leadership. That's how to create complete total chaos. The team. Leaders have a unique quality of getting everyone on board, and they know they cannot be successful. They cannot be successful if they alienate specific people or groups. It's about the team. It's always about the team. It's never not about the team, the school, the town, the administration, the parents, the kids. It's about your team. Everything outside of that that's not important to you. The team, the team, the team. A leader understands it's about the organization and not about him. It is never about him. It is about the team, the town, the school, not the leader. When it becomes about the leader, he is no longer leading. He is trying to win a popularity contest. Hey, look what I done. We won the championship. Oh, me, my offense, my defense, my special team, my system. It ain't about you. It ain't about the X's and O's. About developing people and inspiring them to execute it. I've seen the same offenses play each other. One had an inspired team and one didn't. Who do you think is going to win? The inspired team every time. Leaders and process. A process is a series of actions or steps taken to accomplish a specific goal. Guys, if you're a leader, you better have a process. Leaders have a plan. They know that each day is a step towards a goal. Each day is a part of the process. I'm doing A, B, C, D, E this week. A, B, C, D, E this week. And then once we can do A, B, C, D, E, we'll move on. F. Then when we can do F, we'll move on. But have a plan. Leaders have a plan every day. Every day matters to great leaders. Leaders understand this. They bring consistent thoughts and consistent energy. Listen, I don't care what's going on in my life. When I walk in that weight room, or don't walk in there, you better change your thoughts. You better be consistent daily with your thoughts and energy. Bad days don't exist. They can exist after practice. They can exist after off season, but you better come in there with consistent energy and consistent thoughts. If you're bringing your drama in there, or you're over there in the corner bitching about this or that with this coach or that coach, you ain't a leader, man. You're a pot stirrer.
You better have consistent thoughts and energy every day. Passion, a strong and almost uncontrollable emotion. That's what passion is. A strong and almost uncontrollable emotion. It's emotion. And what is emotion? When people talk about he's emotional, he's passionate. Well, passion is a strong and almost uncontrollable emotion. What's an emotion? An emotion is just energy in motion. This thought in my mind created energy in my heart. An emotion in my body, energy in motion, which creates my passion, my emotion, my energy in motion. I'm passionate about the game of football. I'm passionate about coaching kids. I'm passionate about making kids bigger, stronger, faster, better men, high character. I'm passionate about it. You know, energy and motion is all emotion is, and great leaders are passionate about their life, their purpose, and their purpose in it. They survive off the fuel of their goals and dreams, man. If you ain't passionate, why are you involved in a game of football? It's a passionate game. And preparing for it's even, you better be even more passionate if you're preparing for it. I'll say this to all people that want to tackle this leadership deal. You better be fired up with enthusiasm, or they will fire you with enthusiasm. Let me say that again. You better be fired up with enthusiasm, or they will fire you with enthusiasm. Football is a passionate game. Passionate game. And approaching it without enthusiasm, it won't end well. It will not end well. If you approach this game as a leader without enthusiasm, without passion, which creates emotion, it won't end well.
Victor Griffin, police report to the office, ready to go.
Didn't get to use my home studio today. I'm at school, so there we are. You see what I got here, my friends. Rules of leadership. Have a plan. What to do. Everybody has to know what to do every day. And here's a great little aphorism for you. Don't greet the dawn without a roadmap of the day. If you're going to lead a program, lead a business, lead an organization, before you walk out that day, you better know what you're going to do tomorrow. Have a plan, what to do. If you're a leader, everybody has to know what to do. You got to organize that, structure that, pass it on to your subordinates. Make sure that they know exactly what you want. Have a plan, what to do. Make sure everybody knows what to do, and do not leave out the small details. Rules of leadership, have a plan. 2, be consistent. Do it every day. You want to save yourself a bunch of headaches as a leader? Be as consistent as you can. As consistent as you can. Monday's this, Tuesday's this, Wednesday's this, Thursday's this, Friday's this. Be consistent. Do it every day. Our weight room don't change. Don't change. Don't change. You know, sets and stuff like that change, but stuff don't change. If you're a leader, you better be fair. Have a plan, be consistent, be fair. Do it for everyone. Have a plan what to do. Be consistent, do it every day. Be fair, do it for everyone. The old Dennis Franchione rule, you'll never fool a kid. If you're doing it for one and not another, you ain't a leader. And it will backfire on you. It will not end well. Love them. Show them you care. Now, I'm going to say this. Coach Michaels, I grew up in Buchanan, West Virginia. I didn't think he cared, but I know he didn't care either. I knew he cared about the school, the town, the kids. He didn't individually pat me on the back or tell me everything's going to be all right every day, but I knew he cared. In his way, he cared. It was a weird way. He was tough because there's tough leaders. Now, not every leader is going to be like me or you or the next guy. You got to lead to your personality, but the leadership traits and qualities, they don't change. You better have a plan what to do every day. Be consistent. Do it every day. Be fair. Do it for everyone. Love. Show them you care. If you ain't doing those things, those are just rules of leadership. Those will accompany everything. If you have a plan, you have the plan. Share it with your subordinates. They'll share it with their subordinates, and they'll share it with their subordinates. That's what to do. If you know what to do every day, you're going to be fine. Stick to it. Be consistent. Do it every day. Be fair. Do it for everyone. Love them. They got to know you care. Follow these rules, and you're going to be okay. We follow because we believe that a leader can get us to the place where we can't go. A leader knows the way, and he teaches the way. A leader goes the way, and he takes us with him. The leader shows the way, and he leads by example. That's why we follow. We follow someone because they know the way, and they're teaching us the way. They go the way, and they take us with them. They show the way by being a great example. And that's why we follow them. We trust them. We believe they know something we don't know. They have experiences we don't have. And we want to get to that level where we can gain that knowledge, gain that experience, gain that wisdom to be a great leader. They know the way. They teach us. They go the way. They take us. They show the way. They give us a good example. This is bare bones leadership stuff. Bare bones leadership stuff. The last slide on this is know your business and continue to grow as a leader. You're going to fall down. You're going to make mistakes, especially you guys that are young head coaches, young coordinators, young position coaches. All of you guys are leading. Develop a plan from your vision. Know what you want to get out of it every day. It bothers me when assistant coaches go to coach kids and they don't have a plan every day. If you're a leader, you better make sure when you walk out of that office on Saturday that every coach in your program knows exactly what you're trying to accomplish every day that week building up to that game because of what you've seen on film. Develop a plan from your vision. Develop a plan from your vision. Know where you want to get these guys. If you get some guys that can't tie their shoe, man, make them great shoe tires. Make them better players, a little bit better. Make them better than they were when they checked into your program. Know your business. Continue to grow. Develop a plan from your vision. Teach your team. Teach them. Teach them. Inspire them and love them. And I think I've given you enough in this bare bones leadership talk. Like I said, we could talk for days on leadership, but these are the things I think are important. These are some things for you young guys. If you'll hang on to this knowledge and look at this and try to develop those things within your leadership realm, your leadership group that you're in right now, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And just remember, have a plan, what to do every day. And if you do that, you're going to be fine, guys. You're going to be fine. If you will just have a plan, be consistent, be fair, and care about people, that's all you really have to do. And everything else that we've talked about today, that stuff will fall in place. Look through this and breeze through it. And if you guys want this PowerPoint, Coach has got it. Coach G's got it. I appreciate you guys letting me present this today. It means a lot to me to get to do these football clinics online. I share them on Facebook Live, and we share them there. So if you guys have any questions, just shoot away.
Yeah, definitely drop them in that chat, guys. And as Coach said, I will upload this presentation along with a few other ones that Coach has shared in the past to the Drive. He'll have his own separate folder because it's all really valuable stuff. And the crazy thing is, right, is, you know, as much value and information was packed in this, like Coach said, it's the bare bones of it. So imagine if you really dove into it, man. We may be here all day. It may be a day seminar type of deal, Coach. Ain't that right?
Oh, man. Good stuff. Hey, I appreciate you guys.
No, absolutely. And I think it's always great to get the dudes up here who are truly passionate. And it's so evident, like you could never question Coach's passion. And I love that the most. You were getting me fired up with that, the weight room talk, man. I mean, it's like the last day like that. I thought that was, I'm going to have to, I gotta watch it back. Cause I didn't have a pen by me at the time. I got to watch it back to get that with exactly what you said. Cause that was awesome. And I love that. And I can't wait to use that because it's true. I mean, you should go through like every time's your last, man. It's the last rep, whatever it is. Okay. Your next rep is your best rep, all that good stuff, man. And it was awesome. It was awesome. But once again, guys, definitely check this back on the drive. I know a couple coaches checked in late. You know, as soon as it's done here, it'll upload and I'll get it rolling to you. Coach, you shared your contact information before. I don't know if you want to throw that back up for a couple of the guys who came in.
Yeah, sure enough, man. I'll throw it up there.
There it is. And then his Twitter is going to be on, you know, obviously I posted it a bunch, but, you know, like I said, if you haven't checked out his previous talks, definitely do that. Another thing I would be curious about, Coach, I'm curious if there's something that, you know, these guys have been listening to for a while now. There's something that, you know, they want you to discuss. I'm curious to see what that would be like. I mean, if there's anything that you feel like Coach Williams should touch on, man, I'd love to hear it. And I'm sure he would as well, because, you know, maybe we'll get him out of his comfort zone a little bit. Who knows? But he's got stuff for days, and he puts a lot of time and effort into these presentations, and you know, the passion is always there. So, but yeah, if you have suggestions, man, I'd love to hear it. I'm curious. I'd be definitely curious. What do you think, Coach?
Hey, man, I'd love to. Like I said, I'd like for somebody to get me out of my comfort zone. I've had a great opportunity to be a part of a lot of great organizations. Like I said, 17 years old, you know, on my 18th birthday, I was on my way to the first Gulf War. So I've got a lot of experience just by years on earth. And, you know, I played college football, rodeoed for a living, been a coach a lot of my life. I just got to be in a lot of arenas that bred, you know, leadership and a lot of experiences. And that's what it is. Everybody that goes and becomes a head coach, they're going to get tested in different ways, and all you have is your experience to learn from.
Absolutely.
It's such a rough deal, especially today with the transparency of information, and people know, you know, parents think they know more than they know about the game, and you have to deal with a lot of stuff that guys just didn't have to deal with years ago. And what it breeds is some experiences that are, you know, second to none for coaches to learn.
Absolutely. One thing that just came to mind, and of course, you know, a lot of these leadership talk, even culture talks, a lot of it encompasses, you know, dealing with adversity, right? But, you know, I don't know if you've ever done a particular presentation on that topic solely, like dealing with adversity, getting through adverse situations. That may be something. What do you think? That may be something we could potentially.
Ooh, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. You know, I hope you ought to throw that out there as a question on Twitter and see how many guys would be interested in that. I'd like to work on something like that because, you know, I think you set up your football program. Many people don't think about this, but if you set up your football program, your off season, and made sure that at the end of our offseason every day, we're going to do what we call finisher. We're going to try to, as Nick Saban would say, we're going to try to figure out what your breaking point is. Well, what's the Marine Corps boot camp? What's the Navy SEAL training? They got to figure out when you're going to break and if you will break and say, I got a great player. This is a Nick Saban deal a while back, and he talked about, he said, I've had great players. You see them in the NFL all the time, college football, high school football. They don't have a big breaking point, so they don't play them in those certain situations in games. Mm-hmm. Would you like everybody to have the same breaking point? Well, I think when you get that, you get great offensive and defensive units. You know, you got a bunch of dudes out there that won't break, and all you have to do is prepare people to overcome adversity, mm-hmm. to prepare them to take them to the breaking point. Take them to the breaking point every day. And once they hit that, you see what the reaction is going to be. Some kids punch the ground. This is BS. Yep. Punch the wall. I ain't doing this. This is stupid. When their mind starts telling them that and they start overcoming that, that's when they start to grow. You've hit the breaking point. You've hit the wall. You hit the wall. If you stop at the wall, you'll never, ever, ever know what it's like to go past your breaking point. Mm-hmm. But if you go through the pain and the suffering and the humility of everything it's going to take to keep on going past that wall, then you can know what it's truly like to reach your full potential. But it's so important that when we hit adversity, that breaking point, that we go through that wall no matter what it takes, or we will never know what it's like to reach our full potential, because we stopped here. We have an 8 ability. We're a 4.5. It's starting to hurt.
Mhm.
Go away or knock that sucker down. Keep on going.
And one of your favorite topics is exactly how you do push past that, and that's building that mental toughness.
That's it. That's really adversity in a nutshell, because in my life, I found out I've had to get past breaking points with technology,
Yeah.
you know, with
Yep.
a changing world.
Hey,
Think I'm 48 years old. If I don't get past some walls of some breaking points in technology, I'm not going to grow. I'm dead in the water. I don't like Excel, but I had to learn it.
got past
I mean,
it. Got past
yeah.
that wall.
Get past that. It doesn't matter. It's just not football. It's everything in life. When you hit a comfort zone, you're like, oh, that's tough. Well, it's only tough because you haven't learned how to do it yet.
Mhm.
Once you learn how to do it, it's easy. But how many people want to put that time in? How many people want to get out of their comfort zone?
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
probably another whole subject, huh?
I'm telling Coach. I think that may be. I think that may be the next one. Dealing with adversity.
Absolutely. Well, I love you guys. I got to get back to
Yes, sir.
living good. Love
That's
you.
it,
Love
man.
you.
That's it, man.
Part of it.
Coach, always appreciate you, man.